With issues of environmental sustainability continuing to arise at both local and international levels, a local family is putting in efforts to draw attention to environmental concerns and provide an incentive for people to assess their usage of natural resources and reduce their carbon footprint. Former Denver, Colorado residents Micah and Des Kane are making strides to create a family-sustaining homestead on their family farm located in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. After facing years of sustainability challenges in Denver, the Kanes moved to the Cumberland Valley during the pandemic in 2020 in search of a more climate-friendly environment.
As we noticed that the West was drying out, the issues with COVID, all kinds of problems, global warming, difficulties with food production, we decided that what we needed to do was to find a place where we could start looking at food systems and how to change them.
After conducting extensive research, Micah and Des discovered that South Central Pennsylvania was projected to be one of the most climate-stable areas in the next 50 years. The couple and their children made their way across the country and settled on their new property. For both Micah and Des, the interest in sustainable food systems peaked at a young age. Growing up, both their mothers tended gardens that sustained their families. When the couple purchased their first home together in Denver, they began to implement sustainable practices in their own household. Not only did this reduce costs for the family, but also gave them more control over what they were eating. The Kanes are continuing to implement these sustainable practices at their Pennsylvania residence. Various livestock are raised on the property and play an essential role in their sustainable food system. Rabbits are high-quality protein animals and produce a large amount of manure, providing soil fertilizer, or as Micah states, garden gold. Goats are raised for their meat, milk, and their hair. They utilize their goats to clear land by allowing them to graze and clear brush, which is an excellent method of controlling vegetation without herbicides.
We do try to use as much of the animal as possible to honor the animal. So we try to give it the best life we can here. They're almost a part of our family. We use their milk, we make cheeses, we drink the milk, and then we continue to raise more for meat and what have you. But they're a lot of fun too.
The farm runs solely off solar power. Solar panels are a source of clean electrical energy and were installed in the backyard to eliminate the use of fossil fuels for electricity.
We have installed solar so that we're not polluting by taking fossil fuels and turning them into electricity.
And we actually have a surplus of energy that we put back into the grid, because that was really important for us. Even our heating and cooling of our house is a heat pump, so it's electric based. So again, it's a carbon neutral solution.
Upon arrival to the area, the pair developed a partnership with Shippensburg University to provide educational support to students. The Kanes currently rent out a few goats to the university to help clean up brush and invasive species on campus. They are also working to provide an independent living space in their home where graduate students can stay during their research.
It's a little bit easier if all you got to do is throw on some pants and walk out the door, as opposed to drive for 5-6 miles. So that's our hope, is that once we get further along, that those parts of our farm, which we are trying to set up for study, that we would be able to also offer housing. And as we all know, grad students don't make a lot of money, yes. So that's pretty helpful.
Des stresses the importance of sustainability and that we as a society need to preserve our natural resources for future generations. She states that we are stewards of the planet and we must take care of her.
So, it's important to talk about those realities and figure out how we can live in an environment with everything else that's here in an environmentally friendly way. Otherwise, it's not going to be here for us. And quite frankly, we're not here without the planet. So we really need to take care of it. And anything that we can do to share that passion or because all those little bits that everybody does every day really does make a difference.
According to Micah, education has always been a part of their lives. Their mission is to share information and educate others on sustainable practices they can implement into their daily routine. It is important that we do what we can where we are and begin to repair some of the damage to the earth.
When you ask a young person today where their food comes from, a lot of times they say the grocery store. Well, sure, it's in the grocery store, but that's not where it comes from. And
Our goal is to educate and share our knowledge about how we create food systems on different scales, and also providing educational support for the university. And down the road, we hope to be able to include kids so they can help plant and know where their food comes from, and really just make it a community experience as much as possible.
Implementing sustainable practices into our daily lives will help maintain our quality of life, and it is simply our key to a better future.
the sooner that we all start acting like all the other species on this planet and kind of coming together to take care of things, the better off we're going to be.
This has been Sophia Wall with The Slate.